Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The diagnostic trouble code DTC P0630 indicates that there is a problem with the vehicle identification number, VIN, either not being programmed or a mismatch exists. In vehicles, the VIN serves as an essential identifier, containing crucial information about the vehicle's make, model, and features. For the Honda Odyssey, built between 2011 and 2017, this DTC is relatively common if the Powertrain Control Module, PCM, cannot find or validate the VIN information. The PCM is the central component responsible for managing engine performance and diagnostics. The presence of this code typically suggests that a technician needs to investigate further to ensure that the VIN is correctly programmed into the PCM. Steps to address this error include verifying the current VIN against the PCM data, and if there is a discrepancy, the correct VIN must be input using Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. The resolution process involves systematic checks and updates to the PCM to resolve the mismatch or missing VIN information. DTC P0630 signifies a situation where the Powertrain Control Module, PCM, does not have the correct vehicle identification number, VIN, information. In essence, the VIN is crucial for the PCM to properly communicate with vehicle systems and ensure accurate diagnostics and functionality. The PCM is generally located under the dashboard near the driver's seat, where it can connect with various sensors and components throughout the vehicle. It plays a pivotal role in managing engine performance, collecting data, and executing diagnostics. If the PCM lacks the right VIN, it may affect the vehicle's performance, as it could lead to miscommunications in vehicle system controls and prevent the engine from operating efficiently. Therefore, the presence of this DTC calls for immediate attention to allow the correct VIN to be programmed into the system, restoring operational integrity to the vehicle. There are several potential causes for the DTC P0630 being triggered. The first cause is that the VIN may not be programmed into the PCM at all. This could happen if the PCM was replaced or if the vehicle was not properly calibrated following maintenance or repairs. Another possibility is a malfunction within the PCM itself, which can lead to it failing to store or recognize the VIN. In some cases, software issues may also be the culprit, particularly if there are updates or patches required for the PCM software that have not been applied. Each of these factors could result in the PCM indicating an unknown or inaccurate VIN, which is critical for the functionality of the vehicle's numerous systems. Addressing these causes typically involves proper diagnostics to isolate the specific issue, followed by appropriate measures to rectify it. When DTC P0630 is present, drivers may notice several symptoms indicating a problem. Primarily, the check engine light on the dashboard may illuminate, serving as a visual alert that there is an issue needing attention. Additionally, drivers might experience engine performance issues, such as rough idling, stalling, or unexpected acceleration behavior, as the PCM relies on correct VIN information for optimal performance. Other potential symptoms could involve system malfunctions where modular components, like the transmission or emission systems, fail to operate effectively due to the lack of proper PCM communication. This creates a ripple effect that can lead to further operational inconsistencies. Overall, recognizing these symptoms is crucial for addressing DTC P0630 early and mitigating any long-term damage that might result from prolonged inaccuracies in the vehicle's control systems. The first step in troubleshooting DTC P0630 involves turning the ignition switch to the on position. At this stage, do not start the engine. Simply bring power to the electrical systems. Once the ignition is on, the next action is to utilize the Honda Diagnostic System, commonly abbreviated as HDS, to check the current VIN that the PCM has stored. The HDS is an advanced diagnostic tool that interfaces with the vehicle's onboard computer, allowing technicians to view information stored within the PCM. The verification of the VIN is crucial in this troubleshooting process, as it determines whether the PCM has the correct data entered or if there is indeed a mismatch. By performing this check early, it helps streamline the diagnostic process significantly, setting the stage for any necessary next actions. Following the initial check of the VIN with HDS, it's important to determine if the HDS is displaying the correct vehicle's VIN information. If the HDS clearly shows the VIN, this indicates that the PCM does indeed have the right data, and the next step is to proceed to Step 5 for further action. However, if the HDS does not show the vehicle's VIN, it's essential to continue troubleshooting by going to Step 3. The outcome of this step is crucial, as it directs the subsequent troubleshooting pathway. By establishing whether the VIN information exists in the PCM, technicians can isolate if there is a need to input the VIN manually, which is a corrective action that could resolve the DTC P0630. Properly interpreting the results at this stage can save time and resources in diagnosing the underlying issue. In the event that the HDS does not show the vehicle's VIN, the next critical step is to input the correct VIN into the PCM using the HDS interface. This step is particularly important as it ensures that the PCM has accurate data needed for optimal vehicle performance and diagnostics. After entering the VIN, it's essential to check if the HDS indicates that this process is complete. A complete notification means that the VIN input was successful, and you may proceed to Step 5. Should the HDS not show complete, further investigation is necessary, as this may point to persistent issues with the PCM or the input procedure. It is important to ensure that the VIN is accurate and correctly formatted. Properly completing this step is vital, as it directly influences the resolution of DTC P0630. After attempting to input the VIN into the PCM, the next step is to check with the HDS for any pending or confirmed diagnostic trouble codes, DTCs. It is essential to be thorough at this stage, as other trouble codes may provide additional context for the issue. Specifically, you should look for the presence of DTC P0630, which is indicative of a fault related to the PCM or its internal systems. If DTC P0630 is indicated, this means that another layer of troubleshooting is necessary, specifically for this error code. If no such DTC is present, then the technician can proceed to the next troubleshooting steps. Identifying any additional DTCs can reveal underlying problems that might be affecting the ability of the PCM to correctly store VIN information. The fifth troubleshooting step involves using the HDS to clear the DTC from the system. Clearing the DTC is important, as it resets the error codes, allowing for fresh data to be generated during later checks. Once the DTC is erased, it sets the stage for subsequent diagnostics to verify if the problem has indeed been resolved. After clearing the codes, it's essential to follow the procedure by turning the ignition switch to the lock position, and then turning it back to the on position again after waiting a few seconds. This cycle of turning the ignition on and off helps ensure that the PCM and its systems have a chance to recalibrate. Performing this step is a pivotal move toward confirming whether the prior VIN programming issue is resolved or if DTC P0630 persists in the system. After successfully clearing the DTC from the system, The next step is to turn the ignition switch to the lock position. This action is important as it effectively cuts power to the vehicle's electrical systems, allowing everything to reset. Following this, it is necessary to turn the ignition switch back to the on position and wait for about 5 seconds before proceeding. The 5-second wait helps ensure that all systems are booted up properly and that the PCM can go through its initialization processes. This step creates a clean slate, allowing the vehicle systems to register new data after the DTC has been cleared. It is essential to perform this step diligently, as ensuring a proper restart after clearing DTCs can influence the accuracy of the subsequent diagnostic checks. Next, after turning the ignition back on and waiting, it is vital to check for any pending or confirmed DTCs once again with the HDS. This step is crucial as it allows one to determine whether DTC P0630 has returned post-clearing. If DTC P0630 is indicated again, it implies that the issue with the VIN information still remains unresolved. At this point, you should move to Step 9 for further diagnosis. Conversely, if no such DTC is present, it indicates an intermittent failure, meaning that the system operates correctly at that moment. However, if any other pending or confirmed DTCs are indicated, those should also be taken seriously, as they could affect the vehicle's engine performance or overall functionality. This step serves as a significant checkpoint in the troubleshooting process. If DTC P0630 appears once again, the next troubleshooting step is to ensure that the PCM is updated with the latest software, or, if applicable, to substitute it with a known good PCM. Updates to the PCM software can rectify coding issues, including those related to VIN programming and mismatches. By ensuring that the PCM is equipped with the latest information, it can effectively communicate with the vehicle's other systems. If an update is warranted but does not solve the problem, substituting a known good PCM becomes necessary to eliminate the possibility of PCM failure. This step is particularly important as it addresses foundational components that may be hindering performance and can ultimately resolve the DTC. Keeping the software up to date is a best practice for maintaining optimal vehicle function. Following the update or substitute of the PCM, the next step involves once again checking for any pending or confirmed DTCs using the HDS. During this verification process, if DTC P0630 is still present, it necessitates a repeat of the troubleshooting process, especially if the PCM was just updated. If the PCM was substituted and the DTC continues to show, returning to Step 1 is the advisable course of action. Alternatively, if no DTC is indicated and the software was updated successfully, this suggests that the initial coding issue was resolved, concluding the troubleshooting process for this particular DTC. However, should any other pending or confirmed DTCs appear during this check, those should be investigated with their respective troubleshooting protocols to ensure overall vehicle integrity. This final step emphasizes the importance of persistent troubleshooting and verification in vehicle diagnostics. Final repair verification is crucial to confirm that the issue causing DTC P0630 has been thoroughly resolved. It is essential to ensure that the PCM is now correctly programmed with the VIN information and that it no longer presents the DTC after all troubleshooting steps have been followed. A check should be conducted to confirm that no new or existing DTCs are present in the system, indicating that the repairs were successful and that no underlying issues remain. This step solidifies the diagnostic process, ensuring that both the root cause of the VIN mismatch and any ancillary issues have been properly addressed before considering the vehicle fully operational. Engaging in this verification reinforces confidence in the repair's success and provides reassurance to the vehicle owner that their Honda Odyssey is now functioning correctly and efficiently. To prevent future occurrences of DTC P0630, it is advisable to engage in regular preventive maintenance practices, particularly concerning the Powertrain Control Module, PCM. Regular updates of the PCM software can mitigate issues related to VIN mismatch or programming errors. Additionally, performing routine diagnostics on the vehicle helps in early detection of potential issues. These proactive measures can help ensure that the VIN and PCM remain in sync, thus maintaining the integrity of vehicle performance. Furthermore, keeping all vehicle systems checked periodically allows for a comprehensive understanding of the vehicle's overall health and can help spot minor issues before they evolve into significant problems. Consistent maintenance not only extends the lifespan of the vehicle, but also ensures it operates at peak efficiency. Peace and efficiency. In conclusion, DTC P0630 signifies an essential issue related to the vehicle identification number, VIN, not being programmed or mismatched within the PCM of the Honda Odyssey from 2011 to 2017 models. Thorough systemic troubleshooting steps are necessary to accurately diagnose and resolve the underlying problems. The troubleshooting process begins with verifying the VIN using HDS, followed by checking the PCM for updates or substitutes if necessary. Recognizing symptoms such as poor engine performance or the check engine light is vital for timely interventions. Furthermore, engaging in preventive measures like regular PCM updates will help avoid similar issues in the future. Clear communication between the vehicle systems is central to its performance, and addressing the root cause of DTC P0630 ensures that both functionality and efficiency are preserved. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.